Buddies, welcome back to Vikas Rajmala Motorcycle Podcast.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
And this is also very interesting today.
How not to F up your KTM motorcycle engines. Because most of you end up doing that. And we would actually be happy if you do that because Tarun has a workshop and he's a specialist in repairing and rebuilding your motorcycle engines. But because we are good people, we will let you know tips on how not to F up your motorcycle.
KTM 390s. Not only 390s.
Yeah, I mean
Because I got used to the 390 series. So
yeah, no, we will talk specifically about 390 series now.
Okay.
So why? Because they are amazingly good engines, but when something is so good, you gotta be very good to it also.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, correct.
So first thing, number one.
Like we'll say them like what are the things
Points. Okay.
you have to see
First.
KTM.
So we'll talk about the early morning thing. Early morning is you wake up and see. Remember, first thing, the motorcycle is standing the whole night. Okay, so the engine from all, the engine oil from all the parts, right?
It will get down to the oil sump.
Correct.
Down bottom.
The camshaft.
Timing chains, everything will be like
Every
little dried and because it stayed for the whole night.
Plus, you have to understand, according to science, there is something called optimal engine temperature. Okay, we all now you can't wake up all of a sudden and start running. Correct? You go to the gym. What do? You suddenly go and lift up 50 kgs. You don't do that. The gym trainer will make you do basic warm up. Yeah. Run on the treadmill for say 10-15 minutes. Correct?
Yeah.
Why? Because your body has to warm up. It has to reach a certain temperature. Your muscles have to loosen up. So the same way in an engine, first is when you go and start the motorcycle, it's better to actually center it.
Yeah.
Okay. Many people warm up the motorcycle by keeping on the
side stand.
Sorry, side stand. It doesn't have a center.
And also, like I'll tell you why you have to make the motorcycle up, not to keep it on the side stand and do the warm up. Because like in every bike, oil pumps, which will pump the oil to all the components in the engine, placed in different places. Some engine might have on the left side, some engine have the right side. So if your motorcycle have it on the right side, then oil will be all on the left side if you keep it on the side stand. So it will do the flow and everything. They'll do all
pressure
the
would be low.
The pressure would be low, and also like wear and tear would be on this side will be like more in cold starts. So make sure the motorcycle is up, standing straight, and start the bike.
Because you don't have a center stand, simple sit on the motorcycle. Okay, keep it centered. Okay, level surface, and simple follow this process. That is, go sit on your motorcycle. Okay.
Let your fuel pump run.
Priming.
Yeah.
So what he means by is first put the key to on. When you do that, you hear this. What it means is that the fuel pump is taking fuel from the tank and building pressure till the injectors.
Till the injector, it will build the pressure.
Right?
Yeah.
So let that happen for 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And when the priming sound stops, it stops. It means your motorcycle is actually ready to be cranked. Cranked is press the electric start. Okay. And when you do that, don't even touch the throttle, the accelerator.
Let it be in the idle.
Correct. It starts, no?
In first, like the idle, you can see in the odometer and all, you can see RPMs are little lesser. So after like a minute or like not even a minute, like motorcycles can do warm like in 30-40 seconds if you
depend on temperature.
Yeah.
If it's a cold December time, it will take 2 to 3 minutes at least.
Yeah. So like let the motorcycle come to its idling RPM stable, then you can know like.
Correct. So simple, sit on the motorcycle, let her idle. See, now forget about temperature. Basically, you see, temperature means is it December, is it March? Forget about all that. Basically, you should see at least about 2.5 bars on the temperature gauge.
Yeah, you have to check that.
Yes.
In KTMs that is available. That's the best thing you can see on the speedometer.
Correct. So when you see the temperature gauge reach about at least 2.5 bars, then the engine is warmed up. She is ready. Okay.
Yeah.
So then also when you start riding, don't rev her up too much.
You can take it to red line like once a while. That won't create any problem, but don't do it all the time. Some people do. Whenever they see some crowd, they'll do it. That's the wrong thing you are doing.
When you're hitting, what he means to say is that redlining, there is basically anytime I see any guy doing that, that is it shows that that guy doesn't know anything about motorcycles. Okay, because remember one thing, the only reason your motorcycle engine is not blowing up is because new age motorcycles in the last about 12-13 years
All the
have
fuel injector motorcycles will come to that limit.
electronic rev limiter,
Yeah,
right?
electronic.
Yeah. So basically the engine is the motorcycle's ECU is sensing that the engine has reached the maximum RPM, okay, maximum revolutions, and it will not let it go beyond that.
So that's where you can hear that noise, like the banging.
It's cutting off. It's
Yeah,
cutting the
cutting
ignition off. It's cutting the spark off actually. Okay. So if you go, for an example, if KTM RPM maximum is about 9,500 or something like that.
10,500 to be precise.
It says like that, but you know, KTM always says it's only about 9,500 to 9,700. But it will show that it has touched 10,500. You know.
Yeah.
So when you open the throttle, you're getting saved. Your engine is getting saved because the electronic rev limiter is cutting off the ignition, spark plug ignition.
Yeah.
You know, else your timing of the engine will get lost, and then the valves will hit the piston and the engine will blow up.
Yeah. People will say now that companies are like cutting off at that RPM, so we can still go to that RPM. So that's not the case. So like you can go to that like RPM, but not at that red line where it's keep on cutting off the spark. If you be at that point all the time, then you are damaging your internals. Like the circles will be like it won't create proper pressure inside, and also like the components will start to wear out, like sudden cut off of power and all.
Basically, what he's saying is that there are a lot of tuning centers in Bangalore, in Pune, in many places. They say that we will remove the rev limiter of your KTM RC390 or Duke 390 or 200 so that you get more power out. It is like saying, I'll jump off a cliff and I'll get wings to fly. Absolute bloody nonsense. Okay, if the company, that is KTM, could generate extra power by removing the rev limiter, then why the hell would they put a rev limiter? Because they know how much stress can their engine take. Okay, how much RPM is safe. So you go and remove, they are giving you a free bulletproof jacket, and you take out that bulletproof jacket and say, I can take bullets now, you will die. As simple as that.
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Exactly.
So never ever remove the rev limiter of your motorcycle at some so-called nonsense performance tuning shops. All right.
Yes, bro.
So you want more power, buy a bigger CC engine or a more horsepower engine.
That's it, bro. Like
stock is the best.
and also in KTMs, the engines are maxed out. Actually, KTM made their engines to like whatever they can take
Capacity.
to a level where which is safer, and also like the user, the rider can enjoy the ride. So don't take it above that limit. It will damage your engine.
Absolutely. So KTM company has already, you've seen, right?
Maxed out.
When you go to drink sugarcane juice, what they do? They put that thing in that sugarcane so many times and squeeze out every drop of sugarcane juice from it. So KTM has done a fantastic job by producing as much power safely as possible from these engines. And you go remove the rev limiter, put some nonsense ECU, this, that, and all of that, and then remove the air filter, remove the stock exhaust. Well, you can do all of this in case you are participating in some drag
tracks or
race.
something, yeah.
Okay, because there you just have to win the race, and after that, even if your engine gets destroyed, it's okay. But if you are an everyday rider, if you're using a motorcycle to commute, go to your college, go to your office, weekend rides, don't do that. As simple as that.
So mainly in India, people are more interested to modify their bikes. So if you want to do modification like on the outer side, like for the body and all stickering all, you can do, but don't touch the engine and component, electricals particularly, because like if you give your motorcycle somewhere like some locally who doesn't have any idea about these electronics and all, one wire mismatch will cause you issue dead.
True.
That will cost a lot. In this performance bikes, like any ECU motorcycle, these only cost like 7-8K, which is
Correct.
very small, by the way. So in electronics, you're not supposed to do anything.
Yeah. And another thing is that you have to check the level of your engine oil very often. Okay.
And a lot of people don't know how to check the oil. Even
Please
I've
tell.
seen a lot of customers coming to my shop, like I've checked the engine oils and I said like there is no engine oil in your engine. They were like how you know without opening engine and all, like it's simple guys. You can see on the right side of your engine case, clutch side engine case,
Glass
there will be
window.
glass.
Yeah.
I think on almost all the bikes have that glass somewhere on the left or right. So just see it. Yeah, and they also provide the indication minimum maximum 2 bars, which is very small. Make your motorcycle stand up and you can see it on the side glass. If you keep it in the side stand, you don't see any oil, but if you make sure the motorcycle is straight, then you can see the oil in that levels. If you see anything lesser than that, you have to top up or else you have to consult your garage.
Yeah. So basically, make your motorcycle stand straight, okay, level surface, and on the right side of the engine, you will see a glass, round glass, and you should be able to see at least about 40%, 35 to 40% level of that glass filled with engine oil. If you don't see it, simple life-saving tip: go to any fuel station, buy even mineral oil.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
Any oil, like
Motorcycle oil.
any
Yeah.
motorcycle oil, like that will protect for some time.
Correct.
Until you reach
Top it
to,
up.
like, just top it up.
Half a liter or 200 ml, 100 ml, whatever, how much is required. You know. So very often people ask.
And also like you have to turn off your engine while checking that level. If you turn on the engine, the pump will work on and all the oil will be on the engine circulating, so you can't find anything in the glass. So make sure your engine is cut off and wait for a minute or so, then you can see it in the glass. So this you can't do it, like not supposed to do like daily. You can
Once in a week, I say.
once in a week or like twice a week.
It only takes few minutes. You know.
Check it once a while,
Yeah.
so that it will save up your engine. Like engine oil is a main thing in the engine.
Absolutely. And basically, when people ask which is the best engine oil, I say first you should have engine oil in your motorcycle. Any engine oil is okay. You know, engine oil is not made by some local shop. It is made by even the most cheap engine oil is made by big companies.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will. It might not do great benefit to your motorcycle, but it will not actually do any harm.
Right,
You know? So even buy 250 rupees per liter engine oil in case your engine oil is low, and top it up. Next is coolant.
If you talk about coolant, then it is very important to check the coolants in liquid cooled motorcycles.
Correct.
Because in a air cooled engine, like people coming from air cooled to liquid cooled, so this is just most of the people know about the coolant, how to check them and all, like, but some people don't know about it. Some people doesn't know like they have coolant system in their motorcycles. So for that also you have a reservoir tank where you can see the coolant
In the front, the
on
top.
the front.
Okay, you will say reservoir.
In KTM, most of the time it's on the front side near the handlebar.
Yes.
So in that also you can see minimum, maximum. Always has to be in that level. And if you don't see anything, any coolant level, make sure you add something.
Water.
Even you can use water at least.
But not tap water.
Use
Okay.
distilled
At least if you don't get distilled water, you can buy Bisleri water, because I have done evaporation tests. Okay, on gas stove, in different pans, I put tap water, I put Bisleri water, and I put distilled water. So when the full water is evaporated, there is salt and sediments left. In tap water, you won't even believe the amount of sediment is very, very high.
Very high.
In Bisleri, extremely low. Only necessary minerals are there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in case you are on a long ride anywhere, you see the coolant level is low, buy one Bisleri can. Can means 1 liter bottle, and top it up. As a matter of fact, before coolant was invented, people only used water.
Water.
Okay.
That's like,
So
if you are like worst case, you are not getting anything, like even the like drinking mineral water or like distilled water, you can use like tap water for
tap water, correct.
some time. If any hoses are leaking or something, running on some kind of water is good more than like without running
Yeah.
on any kind of water like or coolant. I'll tell you why. Because like coolant is passed all throughout your engine, in the bore kit and also in the head, and again it come back to the radiator. So this process will keep on going, and in between there are like very delicate gaskets and seals. So if you like two type of gaskets, bro. One is head gasket, one is like water pump oil seal.
Correct.
So that oil seals are like very small and also very delicate. One side it will be filled with coolant, one side it will be completely oil.
Correct.
So anything goes down, it will like opposite of that.
Basically, seal will fail.
Seal will fail due to the extreme pressure and heat on the other side.
Correct.
So to check the engine oil, how important it is, coolant also very important to check. If you don't check the coolant and somehow, I'll tell you, like if you have half of the coolant also, it will destroy your engine, because you're not supposed to have any air bubbles in the system. If you have anything, then it will start boiling. And the head gasket is also like very thin and metal kind of thing,
Yeah.
where it have a kind of layer. So once you don't have that coolant or anything, it start burning, and
True.
the oil, everything. Next time you add the oil, like next time you add the coolant or engine oil, it will start to mix that time.
Correct. So basically, no matter what, have some water in your radiator. Okay.
And also engine oil.
Engine oil. Okay. And next is, you have to make sure KTM has a disease. Okay. That is very often the engine oil and coolant mix.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a different topic. A lot of details are there in it. We'll talk about it in another podcast. But all that you have to do is how to check. How will they know?
I'll tell you like
Just by eyesight.
how to check whether your engine oil and coolant is mixing in the engine. So first thing, you have to check the levels. If you add it like frequently, and also you can see levels are dropping, then that might be something going bad in the engine. Like coolant, if you added coolant and if you see another day there is no coolant in the reservoir, then your coolant is probably mixing with the engine oil.
Correct. If it's not leaking onto the ground.
If it's not leaking and you wonder like where all this happening, where it's going and all.
Yeah.
So like you can check it in the glass actually.
There'll be some bubbles kind of a thing?
No, it will
How
become
will
white layer. Actually, if coolant and engine oil mixes, if you start the motorcycle after 10-15 minutes, you can't see anything in the glass. It will become like proper white, cream.
foggy, just like oil and water mix, you know. So this is the number one killer for KTM engines, and it has happened to our own motorcycles.
Even
many
it
times.
happened to my motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it happens all the time. So the thing is, it's very bad for the engine. If it happens once, then if you identify it early, then we can fix it as soon as possible. But still, like if you ride it for a while, like 1 week, even 1 week, 2 weeks are very dangerous for the motorcycle. Even if you change the gaskets and all, still like after sometimes the crank might.
Yeah, basically the engine oil can't do its job of lubricating because it's mixed with water. Okay, that is the reason. That is the reason for when you have performance-oriented motorcycles like the KTM's. Visiting an expert like Tarun once in a month just to say hi is very important. Actually, you know, because he can identify a few things which you can't. So of course, I'll put up Tarun's information. That is his phone number. You know, he's got a workshop, very nice, neat workshop, completely taken care by himself in Alwal, Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also like I am also a biker, and he's also like very big biker. So like from my side,
Big bike.
big biker. From my side, like I don't charge anything just for the checkup. You can come at any time. I'll check it.
Awesome.
No problem in it.
Yes.
You can come directly. You just give me a call or else.
Yes. So yeah, few more things. Of course, yes, if you do wheelies, okay, wheelies can also mess up your engine, because I've seen people do long wheelies, okay,
Yeah.
and engine oil starvation.
Yeah, oil pumps will be like, in some bikes there are 2 oil pumps. In some bikes is only 1 oil pump. If you take like 200 and 125, that motorcycle have only 1 oil pump, and in 390s you have 2 oil pumps. So like don't do long wheelies, because like that time your oil pumps won't work. It won't generate any pressure to the head and all. Like that the time it start wear out. Like it won't come out like that time. Like
The problem will show up much
up
later.
much later.
You know, and
and
that's, I mean, there are many small factors,
yeah.
but these are
But
the
engine
primary
oil coolant mixing is like very big issue.
Yes.
And I think in this video we showed them like how to check coolant and engine oil. So this is a big work. Like if anything goes in engine, it will cost a lot.
Correct.
So for KTM's the parts are very expensive. Engine components, if you talk about outer parts and all, is like very cheap. But when it comes to engine parts, it's like kind of expensive.
Yes.
Anything else, bro?
That's it. So thank you for watching, and make sure you don't F up your KTM engines.
Always check these two, engine oil and coolant, very important.
Thank you, buddies.
And
Take
also
care.
like we'll ask them like if you have any questions regarding
Yeah.
motorcycles, you
Yeah.
can comment down below.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
We'll try to reply.
Correct. Okay, comment, like, subscribe, and bye-bye.